Soulful Sunday. And you know, I stream on two devices, on two platforms every Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm super excited. I just got in from the supermarket, and I know for a bunch of people that doesn't seem like a big deal, right? But it is humongous for me, okay? It is humongous because number one, I walk there. I went to the beauty supply. I stopped at a local African market. They didn't accept the form of payment that I had. So I just kept it pushing. The weather was nice. I took a little breaks on my way walking there. But I really I'm proud of me. 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 And I'm excited. And I don't know if I'm gonna make it a weekly thing or not. I don't know. I don't know because I'm gonna be definitely moving around more. That I'm coming off of my break. Um, However, I'm just grateful, people. I'm just grateful. I have so many things to be grateful for. And honestly, this chapter that we'll be starting today of this amazing book that we've been dived into for the past few weeks, we're finally getting up to the part where you actually um, apply. You actually apply what you have learned. So if you're tuned in and on TikTok, you can catch all of the replays from chapter one over on YouTube. And hey, YouTube world, you can catch all of the replays here at the SupaTea podcast show. And yeah, I'm excited. I kind of jumped ahead. I'm excellent. Welcome to Soulful Sundays. I jumped ahead, which I normally don't ever do. And I started reading the chapter and applying this new chapter. So we are currently in the doing part of the book. There's three sections of this book by Dr. Joe Dispenza. We're right now in part three, and I'm super excited to be in part three of this book. Again, if you're new here, you can catch all of the other chapters right here on my channel. You just have to scroll through Soulful Sundays, and once you do that, you can catch up. But we're right now on chapter 9. So you could catch chapter 1 and 8 right on my YouTube channel. But we're going to dive into chapter 9, which is the meditative process. It's the introduction to the meditative process, and it is also the preparation of the induction. So just really quick before I jump into the actual chapter, induction is basically the process where you are taking your brain out of that beta mode. If you're not familiar with what beta mode is, it is the typical mode that people are in when they are awake and they're functioning and they're dealing and interacting with others. They're alert, they're observant, they're in beta mode. However, for you to learn something new, you have to basically put your mind and your brain into theta. So you go from beta to delta and then to theta. And theta is where it goes straight in, whatever information you are putting into your brain, it goes straight into your subconscious, which gives you the new neurons and gives you the new connections and all of that good scientific action in your brain waves to create the new experience that you want to create for yourself. It could be you taking on new fitness, you taking on a new career, you taking on just creating a new, better version of yourself. So I'm excited. I have practice, and I'm gonna jump in again. I'm gonna be snacking at the same time, so just bear with me. I kind of want to close this door here because I got something playing in the background. I don't know if that's distractive to you guys. Um, Gives me an excuse to take a bite out of my sushi. I'm gonna go and put on some relaxing music in the background. I'll be right back. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. Be right back. Oh, I got some wasabi on my tongue. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. All right, I have returned. Whew, that's better in the background. Ah, I got some salmon on. I'm gonna make me some spinach rice to go with that salmon. I'm excited. Can you tell I'm a foodie? What is that? That's the light. That's the light. Okay, I'm gonna jump right in. As I stated earlier, we're in chapter 9, the meditative process introduction and preparation. And this is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's a neuroscientist. And this that you have just tuned into is Soulful Sundays. So welcome into Soulful Sundays. I'm going to go ahead and get on with this chapter. As I stated earlier, the main purpose of meditating is to remove your attention from the environment, your body, and the passage of time, so that what you intend, what you think, becomes your focus instead of these externals. You can then change your internal state independent of the outside world. Meditating is also a means for you to move beyond your analytical mind so that you can access your subconscious mind. That's crucial, since the subconscious is where all your bad habits and behaviors that you want to change resides. All the information you have received up to this point has been intended to help you understand what you will be doing in this section as you learn how to use the meditative process to create a new reality. And once you comprehend and repeatedly execute the how-to steps presented here, you can then work on anything that you want to change in your life. Remind yourself often that in taking the steps to change, you are pruning away the habit of being your old self. So that you can create a new mind for your new future. When I do the process you are about to learn, I want to lose myself in consciousness, disassociate from my known reality, and be devoid of the thoughts and feelings that define me as the old self. In the beginning, the newness of the task you are undertaking might cause you to feel unsettled or uncomfortable. That's okay. It's just your body, which has become your mind, resisting the new training process. Understand this before you initiate your discipline and relax. Each step is designed to be easy to understand and simple to follow. Personally, I look forward to my meditation practice as much as anything I do. I find such order, peace, clarity, and inspiration that I rarely miss a day. It took some time for me to arrive at this relationship, so please be patient with yourself. Turning small steps into one easy habit. Whenever you've learned anything new that required your full attention and committed practice, you probably followed specific steps during your initial instruction. This makes it easier to break down the complexities of the skill or task at hand so that the mind can stay focused without being overwhelmed. In any endeavor, of course, your goal is to memorize what you're learning so that eventually you can do it naturally, effortlessly, and subconsciously. Essentially, you want to make this new skill a habit. It's easier to comprehend and execute any new skill when by repetition you master one small task or procedure at a time, and then you move on to the next. Over time, you string each step together as part of one coordinated process. The sign that you're on your way is when all the steps start to look like one easy, fluid motion and you produce the intended result. That's your aim in learning this meditation as a step-by-step process. For example, in learning to hit a golf ball, there are a host of cues that your mind has to process in order to have your actions match your intention. Imagine that while you're preparing to tee off for the first time, your best friend shouts, "Keep your head down, bend your knees, shoulders square, back erect. Keep your front arm straight, but loosen your grip. Shift your weight when you swing, hit behind the ball, and follow through." And my favorite, relax. All these instructions at once could throw you into a state of paralysis. What if instead you worked at one thing at a time, following a methodical order? In time, it seems logical that your swing would look like one motion. Similarly, if you're learning to cook a French recipe, you would start by following its individual steps. Do that enough times, and there would come a moment where you no longer would prepare the recipe as separate steps, but as one continuous process. You would integrate the instructions into your body mind, merge many steps into just a few, and eventually cook the meal in half the time. You go from thinking to doing. Your body memorizes what you were doing as well as your mind, and you'd be a cook. That's what a procedural memory is. This phenomena occurs when you do anything long enough. You begin to know that you know how. Building a neural network for meditation. Remember that the more knowledge you have, the better prepared you are for a new experience. Every meditation step you practice will have a meaning to you based on what you learned earlier in this book. And again, if you're new to the SupaTea podcast show, this is Soulful Sunday. You can catch all the replays of this book right here on my YouTube channel. Every meditation step you practice will have a meaning to you based on what you learned earlier in this book. Each one is based on a scientific or philosophical understanding so that nothing is left to conjecture. The steps are presented in a specific order designed to help you memorize this process for your personal change. Although I have mapped out a suggested 4-week program for you to learn the entire process, Please take as much time as you need to practice each step until it becomes familiar. The best place is to set is one that is comfortable so you never feel overwhelmed. You will begin every session by doing the previous steps you learned, then practice the new material for that week. Because it's more effective to learn some steps together, some weeks will call for you to practice two or more steps. Also, I recommend that you practice each new mindful step or group of steps for at least a week before you move on to the next one. In a few weeks, you'll build quite a neural network for meditation. So the suggested 4-week program is like this. Week 1 is chapter 10. That's going to be next week. Oh my God. So I have a feeling this is going to be a short, that's going to be next week, chapter 10. Then week 2, it's going to be next week, the week afterwards, chapter 11, week 3, chapter 12, week 4, chapter 13. I'm excited, people. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm excited because it's new and I feel excited sharing. Thank you. I feel excited sharing this with my audience because it is tricky. It is tricky, but we're going to do this together. And you can form your own group of people. If you want to do this with a group, you can do this by yourself. But for me, coming onto my platform and going through these chapters in this book with you, it is like I am being of service to you and also to myself because I'm not just reading, but I'm applying the things that I'm learning as well in my life. And you get to see because I'm sharing the changes and the improvements and the growth. So it's exciting and it encourages you because if I can do it, then you can. Okay. All right. So let's continue. Please take your time. Build a strong foundation. If you are already an experienced meditator and want to do more at once, that's fine. But work at following all the instructions and committing what you will be doing to memory. Because this is a specific formula of meditation that he goes through in this book. When you can concentrate on what you're doing without letting your thoughts wander to any extraneous stimuli, you will come to a point when your body actually aligns with your mind. Now, your new skill will become easier and easier to do thanks to Hebb's law of firing and wiring. The ingredients of learning, attention, instruction, and repetitive practice will develop an associate neural network to reflect your intentions. Preparations. Ooh, this is the part I love. Thank you for sharing, Fabulous Skin. Preparing your tools, the right stuff. Separately from your meditation sessions, you will read some descriptive text about each step, often accompanied by questions and prompts under the heading Opportunity to Write. And since you're listening to this, and this is a video, you'll be able to play, stop, pause when we get to next week to assist you in going through your own process. And then I'll also share what I decided to do for myself in regards to creating the tools. I didn't create the tools. Creating, so the author wrote out the steps, right? And the author also, for step 1, which you practice for a week, is called the induction step. I did go ahead and read that chapter 2. And for the induction step, there's 2 ways that he has outlined in the appendix of this book how to practice the induction step. I chose one way and I recorded it myself. And he does have these recordings on his website, but I encourage you to use your own voice to record your meditation. Put some music in the background that's relaxing. It could be 432 hertz, whatever, 528 hertz, something that's relaxing, and use your own voice to record your own meditation. Now, yes, there are individuals' voices that you may want to listen to. That is all at your discretion. But that's what I did. When I say I prepared my tools, what I did basically was I recorded the induction part myself with my own voice with some music in the background. And I love it. I really, really, really love it. It was fun doing it. Now, the discipline part is the tricky part. Because it takes about 20 minutes every step. And because I know what the induction part is doing, again, if you're just coming in, I'll explain it briefly again. What the induction part is designed to do is to take your brain from from beta into theta. But there's a step before you get into theta. So it goes from beta, which is your waking your waking mode. You're awake, you're alert, you're analytical. That's beta. Then you go into delta. Delta is more relaxed. You're like half awake, half asleep. Your mind is alert, but your body is relaxed. And into theta. Theta, your mind is open and receptive to the new information, and whatever information is going in while your brain is in theta mode is going straight to your subconscious. So you're being very intentional by what you're choosing to listen to after you have completed step one. Let me get back into the book. I recommend that you keep a notebook handy to write down your answers, and that's in regards to the opportunity to write section. Then review your responses before you go into each day's meditation. That way, your written thoughts can serve as a roadmap to prepare you to navigate through the meditative procedures in which you will access the operating system of your subconscious. Listen up. When you are first learning the meditation steps, you may want to listen to pre-recorded guided sessions. For example, you will learn an induction technique, that's what I was just talking about, that you will use in every one of your daily sessions to help you reach the highly coherent alpha brain wave state in preparation for the approach that is the focus of chapter 11 to 13. In addition, so I stand corrected. You're not going straight into theta. You're going into alpha. I believe alpha might be under theta, but don't quote me on that. I got to go back and review after I finish this paragraph. In addition, the steps you are to learn each week are available for you to follow in a series of guided meditations. And these are the guided meditations that he has on his channel and on his website. Okay, so let's go back to the following chapter. So it's beta. Okay, so induction actually is, I missed the step. These are the steps. Beta, alpha, then theta, then delta. So the goal is for you to get into theta, but alpha comes before theta. Delta doesn't come before theta. Delta is actually the slowest. So please forgive me. I stand corrected. I'm glad I have the book so that I can go back and reference it. Yeah. So, 2 approaches to the meditation. Meditation option 1. Guided meditations are available. To listen to these guided sessions, you can download them for a small fee. I will put his website in. You can play them in MP3 format. This book is telling its age. It said burn onto a CD. It says audio CDs are available for purchases. After you read each chapter, journal your responses in a notebook. You can listen to the corresponding meditation each week as you add the next steps or steps to those you practiced the previous week. You can add the next related meditation the following week. For example, When you hear the week 2 meditation, it will lead you through the week 1 step, which is an induction technique. Then we'll add the 3 steps you will practice for week 2. When you do the week 3 meditation, you will repeat the steps you learned in week 1 and 2, then add the steps for week 3. For more information about the meditations, visit his website. Again, that will be posted in the description on my YouTube channel. Meditation option 2. Alternatively, I went with option 2. That's what I chose to do. Alternatively, scripts for these guided sessions are included in the appendices so that you can read them until you memorize the sequence or dictate them into a recording device. That's what I did. I dictated mine into a recording device. Appendices A and B provides 2 techniques for the induction. So when I go into next week's chapter, actually, it's just so that everybody's prepared. What I will do is I will go through the meditations. I will read them here so that you have an audio recording of them, and you can feel free to just start listening from that point. And again, I will put his link there. And let me know. Give me some comments in this video once this video is uploaded to my channel. Give me some comments if you want me to create a meditation induction and put it there and make it available for you. I can do that. I can make an audio digital recording myself. I am going to say, though, that I am not the author. And again, it is just a blueprint. So you can get it straight from Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you like the sound of my voice and you would like me to record, let me know. I will do that for you all and make it available so that you can go to my website and you can grab it in my voice. And you also have the option of recording it yourself in your own voice. I encourage that. But it's up to you. It's whatever you feel comfortable doing. Okay, where are we at? If you decide to use the appendix script to guide your meditation, then each week, please start with the steps you learned in the previous week. Then build on doing them by doing that week's meditation. Preparing your environment. Location, location, location. You have learned that overcoming your environment is a critical step in breaking the habit of being yourself. Finding the right environment in which to meditate, one with a minimum of distractions, will really give you a leg up on defeating the first of the big 3. We'll cover the other 2, the body and time, in a moment. Pick a comfortable place where you can be alone and not be seduced by the addiction of the external world. Make it secluded, private, and easy accessible. Go to this place every day. Make it your special location. You will form a strong connection with this setting. It will represent where you frequent to tame the distraction of your ego. Overcome the old self. Create a new self and forge a new destiny. In time, you'll truly look forward to being there. Our participant in one event I led told me that she always fell asleep when she meditated. Our conversation went like this. Where do you practice your mindfulness training? In bed. What does the law of association say about your bed and sleep? I associate my bed with sleep. What does the law of repetition demonstrate about sleeping in your bed every night? If I sleep in the same place nightly, I'm hardwiring an association of bed with sleep. Given the fact that neural networks are formed by combining the law of association and the law of repetition, might you have formed a neural network to the effect that bed means sleep? And since neural networks are automatic programs that we unconsciously use every day, does it stand to reason that when you are on your bed, your body, as the mind, will tell you to automatically and unconsciously fall into oblivion? Yep, I guess I need a better place to meditate. Not only did I suggest she stay out of bed when she meditates, but that she finds a different place separate from her bedroom. When you want to build a new neural network, it makes good sense to do your mindfulness practices in a setting that represents growth, regeneration, and a new future. And please do not see this location as a torture chamber in which you have to meditate. This type of attitude will undermine your efforts. Preventing distractions from your environment. Make sure you won't be interrupted or distracted by people. A do not disturb sign can help. Or pets. Excuse me. As much as possible, eliminate, excuse me, sensory stimuli that could force your mind back into your own old personality. Or to awareness of the external world, especially to elements of your familiar environment. Turn off your phone and computer or put it in do not disturb because I'll be utilizing my phone. My phone is the device I use to record. So I put mine on do not disturb. I know it's hard, but those calls, texts, tweets, IMs, emails can wait. This is you doing something for you. You also don't want the aroma of coffee brewing or food cooking to waft into your meditation setting. Ensure that the room is at a comfortable temperature, no drafts, and I usually use a blindfold. Music. Music can be useful as long as you don't play selections that bring to mind distracting associations. If I play music, I typically use soft, relaxing, trance-inducing instrumentals or chants without lyrics. When not listening to music, I often put in earplugs. Preparing your body. Position, position, position. I sit up very straight. My back is totally vertical. My neck is erect. My arms and legs are resting, poised, and still. And my body is relaxed. What about using a recliner? Just as with sitting in bed, many people fall asleep in recliners. Sitting upright in a regular chair, limbs uncrossed, is best. If you prefer to sit on the ground and cross your legs Indian style, that's fine too. Preventing bodily distractions. In effect, you want to put the body away so that you can focus without needing to pay it any attention. For example, before you start, use the bathroom. Dress in comfortable, loose clothing. Remove your watch. Drink a little water. Have more water within reach. Take care of any hunger pangs before you begin. Head nodding versus nodding off. Since we're talking about the body, let me address an issue that may come up in your own meditation practice. Although you are sitting upright, you may find your head nodding as though you were about to fall asleep. This is a good sign. You are moving into the alpha and theta brainwave states. Your body is used to lying down when your brainwaves slow down. When you suddenly nod like this, your body wants to doze off. With continued practice, you'll become accustomed to your brain slowing down while you sit upright. The head nodding will eventually stop and your body won't tend to fall asleep. Making time to meditate. When to meditate? As you know, daily changes in brain chemical. I got too fast. As you know, daily changes in brain chemistry result in easier access to the subconscious mind just after you wake up in the morning and before you go to bed at night. These are the best times to meditate because you can more readily slip into the alpha or theta states. I prefer to meditate around the same time every morning. If you are really enthusiastic and would like to meditate at both these times of day, go for it. However, I suggest that folks just starting out do it once daily. How long to meditate? Take a few minutes before each day's meditation session to review any writing you have done in connection with the steps you are about to practice. As I said, think of these notes as your roadmap to the journey you are about to take. You may also find it helpful to reread portions of the text to remind yourself of what you are about to do before you go into meditation. While you're learning in the process, every session will start with 10 to 20 minutes for induction. As you add steps, your time frame should lengthen by about 10 to 15 minutes each step. Over time, you will move more rapidly through the steps with which you are already familiar with. By the time you learn how to do all those in this process, your daily meditation, including induction, will generally take 40 to 60 minutes. If you need to finish by a certain time, set a timer to go off 10 minutes before you must end your session. That will give you a heads up to complete the session rather than having to stop abruptly without bringing what you are doing to a close. And set aside enough time to meditate so that the clock doesn't become a concern. After all, if you're meditating and find yourself thinking about your watch, you haven't overcome time. Essentially, you may have to wake up early or go to bed later in order to carve out a slot in your day. Mastering the ego. To be honest, I do have those days where I battle my ego tooth and nail since it wants to be in control. Some mornings, as I begin the process, my analytical mind starts thinking about flights to catch, meetings with staff, injured patients, reports, articles I need to write, my kids and their complexities, phone calls I have to make, and random thoughts from nowhere that pop into my head. I'm obsessing about everything predictable in my external life. Typically, my mind, like most people, is either anticipating the future or remembering the past. When that occurs, I have to settle down, realize that those are all known associations that have nothing to do with creating something new in the present moment. If this happens to you, it is your job to go beyond the tedium of normal thinking and enter into the creative moment. Mastering the body. If your body bucks like an unbridled stallion because it wants to be the mind, to get up and do something, think about someplace it has to go in the future or remember a past emotional experience with some person in your life, you must settle it down. Deep breathing is a great way to settle your body down into the present moment and relax it. Every time you do, you are reconditioning your body to a new mind in time. It will acquiescence. It was conditioned by an unconscious mind and it has to be retrained by you. So love it. Work with it. Be kind to it. It will ultimately surrender to you as the master over your own body and mind. Remember, be determined. Be persistent. Be excited, joyful, flexible, and inspired. When you do so, you are reaching for the hand of the divine. Now let's begin. Woo! That is the end of chapter 9, people. And I am ultra excited about next week. Again, I have already recorded my induction process. Comment if you want me to make a recording and make it available to you listeners. When I post this live Soulful Sunday episode on my YouTube channel, I will be putting Dr. Joe Dispenza's link in the description, so you can go straight to his website and you can access it. You can also access the book for yourself if you want your own copy of this book. So yeah, that is Soulful Sunday, folks. It has been wonderful. I'm excited. I'm off school break. Again, I'm about to put on my sides. I put the salmon in before I started, so I'm about to put on my sides right now. Finish my little snack and get to preparing for this wonderful week ahead. I wish you all love and joy and happiness. Be intentional about how you are living your life. Thank you for tuning in to the SupaTea podcast show. And if you're just coming in, you can catch the replay tomorrow and forth on my YouTube channel. Take care and God bless. Bye.